Welcome back to Basin Motorsports for another day here in the garage. For this week's video, we're going to jump back into the creator collaboration for 2020. The creator I'm working with this week is DemonFox 5.0. Now, if you've never been over to his channel, you might not recognize that Michael is about to finish up his Turbo Mustang build and get it on the road for this year. Now, I don't want to give you too many specifics on his build itself, but if you want to check it out, I will make sure to give you plenty of links and opportunities to get over there and check out what he's got going on his channel. So we're going to get right into the questions. First question is going to be, what tool or tool set would you recommend for a new car enthusiast or somebody to go out and purchase?
I would have to say, if you're doing it as a hobby, there's nothing wrong with starting out with cheap tools. I mean, you got to start somewhere, guys. So I would recommend doing that, but I would also recommend getting you a tool set. My first good tool set was a Craftsman, which over the years I didn't really have that many tools, just have some sporadic stuff here and there. So my wife bought me my first tool set many years ago. It is a Craftsman 256 piece, I believe it was. Come with a ratchet, extensions, sockets, wrenches, and to this day, guys, I still use those same tools. So I would highly recommend getting a tool set. That way you'll have just about, a little bit of everything that you need to work on what you need to work on.
So I would totally agree with that answer. Now, that is very similar, or at least on the brand-wise, of the Craftsman to that and the infamous project, which I featured last time. Now, both of those, even going back to Throttle Stop Garage, you notice that the trend has been buying maybe like a bigger set, and Craftsman has been mentioned twice as a brand, but I think the recommendation there between everybody featured so far is try to do your best to spend enough money to buy quality tools. Even though DemonFox is saying it's okay to buy cheap tools, I think what he's really trying to say there is that, spend as much as you need to. You don't have to go buy top of the line, the best of the out there to get what you need. Spend enough. Buy something that's going to last. And, Craftsman, I know, is not a brand that's around a lot anymore, but maybe some of us, you're starting to see that it's a brand that still has value today in today's society. All right, so question 2 is going to jump into looking at media. So magazines have continually been going out of print over the last few years, and where do you see media going in the next 5 years?
I'd have to say the media is probably pretty much there, guys. It's all going to be online, period. So that's where I see media heading to, which sucks because I remember looking at a lot of those hot rod magazines and things like that, VW Trend and things like that growing up. So, it kind of sucks, but, it's the way of the world, man. We're just rolling with the flow.
So I think going back to online there, I think he is right in the fact that he thinks media is there. So you think about the other guys that have said that today's media, I guess you would call it, being online, being personable, and that I think everybody kind of has the same focus on media going forward, is that we're kind of there. What you see now being online, being more personable, being more individual based, I think that's probably going to be the trend, and I think is what he is saying also on that. So question 3 concerns technology. What technology are you looking forward to in the near future?
I do not look forward to any. I'm just a simple person, guys, simple man. These cars right here in all reality got a little bit too much electronics for, my personal preference, but, to each his own. But I really don't look forward to no technology, to be honest with you.
So I got to say, I was taken aback a little bit by that answer of having, not looking forward to technology, I guess, not having it, but not looking forward to it. I think everybody kind of is excited about new stuff coming out. I know I am excited about 3D printing, some of that kind of stuff. So I can see his point, though. I'm not exactly looking forward to another new iPhone or the latest phone or gadget or anything else. I'm kind of the same way. I'm not much of a technology person in that respect. I think there are some great manufacturing technologies that are becoming more personal based that's coming up that I'm excited for. So next question, what is going to be your favorite tool you're using right now?
My favorite tool, guys, has to be my DeWalt cordless drill. Reason why I say that, because a lot of my bolts and stuff like that, I'll zip up real quick with that and just come back and hand tighten it. So it makes it easy a lot of times. So that would have to be my favorite tool right now.
I can totally see that using, and I don't know if he means a cordless drill or literally like an impact. Both of them are really awesome to basically do assembly with. Makes it fast, especially disassembly, getting rusty bolts and stuff out. I probably prefer an impact, a cordless impact, and I like Ryobi just because I have Home Depot here locally. I don't have Lowe's or anything else, so I've used this kind of like a Home Depot exclusive brand for years. But I think DeWalt, I'm starting to kind of tinker with those guys. Obviously, my heater and that I've got, great brand to buy. I totally would think adding a cordless drill or an impact would be a valuable tool to have in your arsenal. All right, Mr. Michael, what is going to be your dream build?
My dream build, without a doubt, is another 1986. I want another 1986 GT. So that would be my dream build, hands down.
So a 1986 GT, huh? Maybe if I have mine over here, you could convert it to a GT. I've got this one I'm redoing right now, but you'd have to ship it out to you. So we'll keep that in eye. Hopefully you can get another one. I know they're out there. You can find them. Hopefully you can find maybe a relatively inexpensive one to completely redo to your taste. But 86 GT is pretty awesome. All right, so the next question is about being a content creator yourself. What is your biggest fear about creating content?
Has to be, just say if somebody's watching a how-to video of mine and it don't help them, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of my biggest fear, that it really doesn't help anybody, it hinders them or something. I'd say that's my biggest fear, is just not being able to help like the video is intended to. All the other stuff I can care less about, to be honest with you.
All right, so I think that is a great concern. I think when we all do it yourself videos, we do our best to explain the process, any of the pitfalls or the pros and cons of it. And I guess that's a fear I have after doing this for a decade, is that somebody watches my videos and goes, well, that was not helpful at all. I'm more confused now than I was. So I know I've got those questions. I'm sure he has also, that he's had people like, hey, I don't quite understand this piece of what your video was about or anything. So keep watching, keep making videos, and viewers, stay patient with us. Sometimes we aren't the perfect thing for it, but we do give it our best shot. All right, let's jump back into tools. What is going to be your next tool purchase?
Probably a ball joint remover. That probably my next tool I really like to get. I need to do some work to my exploder out there. I need to put some new ball joints in the front end and change out the axles, because the boots is done tore and stuff like that. So that'd probably be my next planned tool purchase.
A ball joint remover, you say? Maybe something like this. Maybe not. Maybe this is not the best. But you said exploder. Really? We're still calling them that? Exploders. That's all right. They're warranted. Some of you guys may not know where that came from, but it happens. It happens. All right, so question 8. You're going to go get coffee with an automotive celebrity. Who is that going to be?
I like to, sit down and talk to Brutal. He's probably one of the only celebrities. He's probably, pretty much is a celebrity. He's probably one of the only YouTubers I haven't met yet, other than Basin Motorsports, but he's quite a ways away from me. But I would like to sit down and have some coffee with Brutal. That way we can just kind of talk about cars and other things like that in general.
Now I'm going to say I wouldn't have expected him to say the channel Brutal as his celebrity. I would have thought bigger, but that's okay. It's another creator we can work with in the future. Now again, he said that he and I are pretty far apart. He is on the East Coast. I'm all the way on the West Coast. So we are already talking about how do we get together to meet in person. So who knows? Maybe one of these days you'll find us all in the center of the country. Maybe at the Midwest Foxbody show that might be a good place for all of us to get together. Get all of us together now. Get everybody from around the country into the center for one big show. That would be a good weekend. All right, so if you could find a car or a truck abandoned in a barn or warehouse, what is that car that you would love to find?
That is a very easy question for me. I would like to have me find me a 1970 Cuda or Challenger.
Oh, classic Mopar. Now, those are really starting to come into value, I think. I think finding either a Barracuda or a Challenger would definitely be something to rebuild. Question is, would you keep it kind of like a resto mod, or would you go wild with it? Wild? Mild? That's a question we'll have to see. Hopefully you can find one in the future. All right, thinking back over the last 5 years, we have seen a lot of trends. What is the one trend that you would consider the absolute worst that you've seen?
This is my personal opinion, guys. This is another no-brainer for me. It's the little import cars with all the camber, and then the tires don't fit on the rim. I mean, come on, man. What can you do with that? Only thing you do is back your roll back up, drop it off right there where you're going to display it at the car show, and that's pretty much it. They show them bags, then maybe you can lift it up.
I can see that. I can see the massive camber on it. I think on the Foxbody, what are we looking for? Maybe -3, -4. These guys are running maybe -30. I don't know. But I'll agree. Those stretch tires and the ridiculous cambers, that's just not for me. Not for me. All right, so thinking in the next coming few years, what is the next big trend you think is going to come out?
That one, I have no idea, to be honest with you. I know supercharging and turbos have been around for a long time, but then they've been popular over the past couple of years now. I don't really see those fading away, to be honest with you. If it's got anything to do with, say, I don't know, the future, it's going to have to be electric cars, but, probably going to cost a pretty penny to make a lot of these electric cars go as fast as some of these force induction and power outer cars and all that good stuff, man. So, I don't know, that's kind of a hard one to answer there, to be honest with you.
All right, so yeah, I could see that. Hot-rodded, fast electric cars. I think we're getting there. And that's something Throttle Stop Garage had said, is building hot rod EVs. So I would agree. I don't know whether it's 5 years out, but I think in the future you're going to start to see a lot more cars upgraded. You've got the electric Copo Camaro, I think it is, or the EV Camaro that was built for a drag car. So, I think it's out there. I think the technology's there. It's just a matter of when is it going to show up and how will it be priced for the aftermarket. All right, so question 12. What is the worst job you've ever had?
That's another no-brainer. Putting in flooring. That's probably the worst. Not only does it kill your knees and your back, but guys, when you have to go to somebody's house that has lived in there before, or they want you to replace something or something like that, that's probably the worst job I ever had, to be honest with you.
Now, I'll say I have never put in a lot of flooring. I've put in some, and I've always been a helper. I've laid laminate. I have tried to lay carpet, but I've always been kind of like the helper, manual labor piece of it. And I could say from doing those pieces, I can totally agree with you. I would never want to do that for a living. Definitely difficult, and I'm sure it only gets worse when you're trying to refurbish a house that somebody's trying to live in. I'm sure it gets difficult in that. All right, so question 13 is, what channel or content creator would you like to work with in 2020?
I don't know. I'd have to say, that's kind of a toss-up between Brutal and Cletus McFarlane. And the reason why I say Cletus McFarlane is because he's a Chevrolet guy. So, there you go, man. I see how them boys act sometimes around us Ford boys. So, that would be fun to do.
So, I think those two are great. Now, this last week, Cletus came out that he just bought a racetrack. So imagine that. Get the Red Demon down and go have fun on his racetrack. That would be kind of fun. All right, so question 14. What events are you going to attend in 2020, or are you planning to attend in 2020?
The ones that I know that I'm attending, without a doubt, is Mustang Week and Foxtoberfest. I don't know if I'd make it the Ford Takeover. I'd like to be able to go to Ford Takeover. I like to go to Ponies and Smokies one time. I've never been to that. And they're also starting up the Chocolate Fox, which is Hershey, Pennsylvania. That's also presented by Fox Restoration, who does Foxtoberfest.
Now, those are definitely going to be two good events this year, and I hope you do get a chance to get up to Hershey for the Chocolate Fox show this year. I think that one's going to be very interesting. It'll be interesting to see how different it is to Foxtoberfest, and I wonder if the location is going to be the difference there versus the attendees more than anything. All right, so the last and the biggest question of all, what is your favorite vehicle, car or truck, of all time?
I had to go back to the 70 Cooter Challenger. There's just something about that car, man. That body style is just, I don't know, that's a good looking car. I mean, it don't need a whole lot to make it look good. I guess that's what's so appealing about it. You know, you ain't got to put all the bling bling on it. It's a beautiful car as is.
I think those are it. Those are it. I hope maybe you do find a barn find, or at a point that you can find one to restore to exactly your liking. I agree. Styling is still there. And you think of how old they are, 70 up to 20 now, that's 50 years ago, and that is still styling is spot on for today's market. All right, y'all, those are the 15 questions. So I want to say thanks to Michael over at DemonFox 5.0 for spending some time with me today. I will put a link up here to his channel, and I will also put another one down in the description to his channel. So you can go over and check out his build that he's currently kind of button up the last bit of it, and he will be out at Foxtoberfest and Mustang Week this year, and maybe all the way to Pennsylvania. You never know. But check him out over there. Say hi if you see him out at events, and if you'd like to be part of this collaboration, drop me a comment below, or if you have questions for the next round of collaboration. I know he's already committed and said, absolutely, I want to be in the next one. So if you have questions, toss them down in the comments, and I'll start putting together a list of new questions for more creators in the future. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, subscribing, and we'll see you next time.